What happens when the most popular pair in Hollywood turns into its worst nightmare? Everyone saw the pictures from the red carpet. The whispers were heard by all. We all witnessed Teyana Taylor methodically erase any traces of Aaron Pierre from her life. However, what if I told you that the leak was only the beginning? The mainstream media is reluctant to tackle this story's darker, more calculated side. We are entering the battle room today, going beyond the news. We are revealing the terrible Aaron Pierre's entire legal team is in a state of code red panic due to the bombshell ultimatum that Teyana Taylor supposedly uncovered, which changed everything. Was Teyana's own family being used as a publicity shield in this cold-blooded treachery, or was it simply a covert relationship? Teyana Taylor is well known for being a ride or perish. However, the gloves don't simply come off once you cross that threshold. She sets the entire home on fire. We have the exclusive inside scoop on the confrontation of the century. From the private cloud folder she discovered to the explosive threat that drove a Hollywood rising star into hiding. Do you believe you understand why they broke up? Hold off till you find out what she threatened to release next. Teyana Taylor just went crazy, and this is Hollywood Uncensored. I have concentrated on Teyana's suspicions, many psychological levels. The digital, the specifics of the secret she purportedly discovered, as well as the breadcrumbs that led to the revelation. When it comes to celebrity rumors, we frequently witness the fallout before the action. Unfollows, erased images, and mysterious captions are all visible to us. However, we hardly ever witness the very moment the glass breaks. That moment did not occur on a red carpet or in front of a paparazzi camera, according to Teyana Taylor. It took place under the sterile, silent brightness of a smartphone screen. We must examine Teyana's methodical approach in order to comprehend how she revealed Aaron Pierre, a secret that was intended to remain hidden forever. Teyana Taylor is more than just an entertainer. She is a tactician. Her guard was at an all-time high after a high-profile divorce from Iman Shumpert. She had declared in public that she was over the games and the shadows. When Aaron Pierre came into her life, he was promoted as a refined British gentleman who respected privacy and the antidote to her background. However, privacy frequently serves as a cover for secrecy in Hollywood. The mistrust didn't begin with a rumor, but rather with the first fissures in the facade. It began with the little things. According to people close to Teyana, she started observing a pattern in Aaron's actions each time he went back to the UK. He was the doing partner and the beloved apple pie while he was in America with her. However, there would be little communication when he landed in London. Citing, script readings, or family time. He would vanish for hours at a time. These weren't only warning signs for a lady who had already experienced betrayal. They served as sirens. According to reports, Teyana started to observe that Aaron was keeping a secret private social media account, a phenomena that was unknown to his American acquaintances. This was more than simply a spot for informal pictures. It served as a window into a life that Teyana Taylor was never meant to glimpse. The hidden cloud. The digital discovery. When a shared device, possibly an iPad or a production laptop used during their joint creative sessions, synced to a cloud account that Aaron had neglected to log out of. Exposure allegedly took a sharp turn. For anyone leading a double life, this is their worst fear. Although Teyana was allegedly, she discovered a folder that was encrypted but not concealed while organizing files for a future music video project. She is said to have accessed the folder by using her intuition, and she discovered enough to chill her to the bone. It was more than a few pictures of someone else. It was a digital record of a 3-year romance with a well-known man in London's social and fashion circles. Travel schedules, private correspondence, and most tragically a string of emails sent between Aaron and his management team in the UK were also present. The beard tactic was revealed. At this point, the narrative shifts from a typical cheating incident to a major Hollywood conspiracy. Teyana allegedly found the recipe for her own relationship in those emails. The trick wasn't only that Aaron was either bisexual or gay. The secret was that his manager supposedly looked for a well-known, stylish, and well-respected black female musician in the United States to match him with. Prior to his breakthrough Disney role, the objective was to Americanize Aaron Pierre and create a leading man persona that would appeal to female audiences. As well as popular releases, Teyana came to understand that, in a contract she never signed, she was more than just a girlfriend, she was a brand partner. According to the emails, Aaron would become more relatable and grounded as a result of Teyana's ride-or-die reputation. Imagine the devastating realization that the man you welcomed into your house, introduced to your kids, and stood up for in the face of criticism may have been a deliberate public relations ploy to conceal who he really was. Teyana's transformation from a wounded spouse to a woman pursuing justice was brought about by this The link to London. Teyana discovered that the man in London was more than just a secret as she continued to examine the digital receipts. He never changed. At the Oscars after-parties, Aaron was allegedly sending I while posing for pictures with Teyana. He sent his London companion a "miss you" SMS. It wasn't a coincidence that the leaks eventually made their way to the internet. They were the outcome of an unmanageable lifestyle. Rumor has it that the London partner was growing weary of the charade as well, observing for someone who had been in the background for 3 years. Aaron and Teyana being praised as the new power couple was too much. Because of the pressure cooker environment this produced, a leak was unavoidable. Teyana, however, didn't wait for the leak to discover her. She discovered the truth on her own. The lies, psychological effects. For Teyana's previously healed wounds were rekindled by this revelation. After spending years defending her first marriage, she was now in a position where someone else was using her reality to further their profession. Her authenticity was directly attacked by The Secret. Teyana takes great satisfaction in being authentic, unvarnished, and true to Harlem. It was the ultimate betrayal to discover that she was the focal point of a fake romance. She silently collected every screenshot, email, and picture over the course of 48 hours. She delayed confronting him. She acted like any astute mogul would. She obtained the proof. She was aware that it's your word against theirs in the realm of Hollywood public relations. However, with the cloud files in her possession, she was able to demolish his whole leading man storyline in a single post. The calm before the storm. Teyana kept moving silently during the course of these 2 days. She showed up for her meetings. She took care of her and worked on her choreography. Daughters. On the inside, though, she was getting ready for battle. To find out what her choices were, she reportedly contacted her own legal team. Is she able to file a lawsuit for mental distress? Would she violate any current NDA? A complete change in personality was sparked by The Secret's discovery. The loving Teyana had vanished. She was replaced by a lady who was prepared to expose not only Aaron Pierre, but the entire system that believes it can utilize black women as public relations fronts for the secrets of men. There was a breaking point in the strain. According to reports, Aaron Pierre continued to act as though nothing had changed. He was getting ready for his next major press trip, not realizing that Teyana had already gained access to the archive of lies. As Teyana was, in the following section of this script, we will get into the actual encounter while he is preparing his escape documents. When Teyana eventually showed him the folder, what happened? What was it about her startling threat that caused his whole legal team go silent? What was Aaron Pierre's response when he discovered the woman he believed he was playing had stolen his leading man mask? Teyana Taylor was going to make sure everyone saw the receipts for the toxic apple pie, which wasn't simply sour. It was said that the air in the room was so dense that a knife could cut through it. This wasn't a spat recorded by the paparazzi or a public altercation in a restaurant. This was a discreet, well-planned confrontation that took place in a luxurious hotel suite far from the world's prying eyes. It is said that Aaron Pierre entered that room, anticipating a typical evening, possibly even a conversation over their upcoming public appearance. Rather, he entered a trial in which Teyana Taylor served as the jury, the judge, and the executioner. The receipts, disclosure. Sources close to the incident claim that Teyana didn't begin with tears or shouts. She began with a laptop. She turned the TV in Aaron's direction while seated across from him. There was neither a music video treatment nor a movie script on that screen. The cloud folder was the culprit. It was the travelogues, the correspondence with the London partner, and above all the strategy, emails from his management staff outlining how to use Teyana to improve his reputation among Americans. Teyana to improve his reputation among Americans. There was apparently complete quiet for several minutes. Aaron, an actor with classical training, was cast in a he was unable to perform his way out. The leading man's mask broke, not merely slipped. When he did speak, he allegedly attempted the traditional Hollywood tactic known as gaslighting, which involves saying things were taken out of context or that the messages were outdated. However, Teyana had the time. She had evidence that he was messaging his hidden life in the UK as he was holding her hand over dinner. The change in power. According to reports, Teyana responded to his denials in a cold, calculated manner. She informed him that she wasn't curious about his justifications. The disrespect piqued her curiosity. She emphasized that she had risked her reputation for him. She had stood up for him when others questioned their quick romance. She had discovered she was a project on a public relations whiteboard after letting him into her personal space. At this point in Aaron's career, the dynamic changed from a breakup to a hostage situation. Teyana was aware that Aaron was about to reach his greatest professional achievement. The Lion King, Mufasa, was months away from a huge worldwide launch. Disney, a company founded on benign, family-friendly principles, struggles to deal with crazy, particularly those involving deceit, bearding, and strained relationships with well-liked public figures like Teyana. The startling danger. As the discussion grew more heated, Aaron's management team was reportedly used as speakerphone to call into the room. They made an effort to provide answers, They discussed amicable separations and joint statements. They also made reference to paying Teyana for her participation. This was the ultimate error. Giving Teyana Taylor money is akin to giving water to a flood. She doesn't require it, and it just gives her more strength. Teyana's threat was straightforward, uncomplicated, and terrifying. According to reports, she said to them, "I don't want your money. I want the truth. And if you try to spin this, or if you ever try to paint me as the problem in this relationship, I am going to release a 4 or 5 minute documentary-style story time on my YouTube and Instagram." But that wasn't the surprise. When she said, "And I'm not just exposing Aaron, I am going to name every agent, every manager, and every PR firm involved in this Beard contract. I am going to expose the names of the other actors you are doing this to right now." Aaron's crew began to panic. "I'll use the nuclear option to destroy the entire system." The nuclear option was this. Hollywood relies heavily on secrecy. Although everyone is aware that bearding occurs, no one discusses it. If Teyana persisted, she wouldn't only be destroying Aaron Pierre's career, she would be launching a PR deception campaign in the vein of Mito in order to preserve the financial viability of their male stars. She would be revealing the ways in which studios exploit black women. According to reports, Aaron's legal team pleaded with her to change her mind. They were aware that it would be a black swan event for the industry if Teyana Taylor, a woman with more than 16 million followers and great respect in the field, went live with that information. The studios would have to keep their distance from all parties. Aaron Pierre would turn radioactive. The final demand, Teyana issued them a deadline. "You have 24 hours to leave my life. Nothing to say. There are no sources speaking to TMZ. No, we're still friends. Lies, you remain in the shadows, where you obviously feel most at ease, and I remove the posts. The video goes live if I hear even one word from someone attempting to paint me as the villain." Because of this danger, the Globe witnessed such an abrupt and complete digital cleanup. This explains why there were no protracted tabloid disputes. There was no regard for one another in the quiet. It was guaranteed to destroy each other. That night, Aaron Pierre lost more than just a girlfriend. His leverage was diminished. Teyana removed him from her computer history, and he had to watch. He knew what she had in her vault. Therefore, he was unable to defend himself with a single word. The room's aftermath. According to reports, Teyana merely left after delivering the threat, leaving Aaron and his group in the ruins of their own scheme. She didn't turn around. After returning home, she collected her daughters and started the process of letting go. For Aaron, the key was out, but the one person he couldn't control had it under lock and key. His entire future now rested on Teyana Taylor's kindness. Aaron's team apparently had a heart attack each time she shared a mysterious remark or a line from a song. Wondering if this was the right time, she would press the Exposes upload button. The game was altered by the confrontation. It was no longer about a gay romance that had been disclosed. It was about a strong woman who refused to play a corporate game as a pawn. Teyana Taylor revealed the truth that the true power lies with her. She demonstrated that her ride-or-die loyalty is a gift, and that she has the receipts to demolish the entire structure if you misuse it. We will examine the ensuing Cold War in the last section of this script. We'll examine the silence that descended upon Hollywood, the ultimate state of Aaron Pierre's leading man dream, as well as the cryptic clues Teyana employed to keep them alert. Was the threat sufficient to permanently conceal the truth? Or is the expo still in the works? Not only was the apple pie bad, but time was running out. Bomb. And only Teyana Taylor will know when the timer reaches 0. The disclosed script's last comprehensive section. This part discusses the Cold War after the threat, Teyana's psychological power struggle, and Aaron Pierre's reputation's eventual demise in the shadow of the receipts. Hollywood was engulfed in a thick, oppressive quiet following the violent altercation in that hotel suite. This was not the kind of quiet that comes after a friendly split. This was the quiet of a Cold War. The legislation had been established by Teyana Taylor, and Aaron Pierre's team was aware that any misstep or source article exposed to People magazine or TMZ would result in a digital nuclear attack. Teyana had the digital wipe, the power of absence, the receipts, the film, and the platform to destroy the PR apparatus of an entire business. The public witnessed something uncommon in the era of excessive sharing in the days after the threat, a complete surgical surgery. In order to manage the narrative, celebrities typically leave a few pictures up for a while or have their pals speak with the media. However, it seemed as though Aaron and Teyana had never existed. Teyana did more than simply remove the pictures. She erased the recollection. She wasn't merely tidying up when she erased every sign of Aaron from her grid. She was using the unperson's power. She was demonstrating to Aaron that he was once again in the dark without her light. Aaron's leading man momentum was severely damaged by this. He gained street cred and cool points in the US market because of his affiliation with Teyana. Without her, he was just another gifted actor with a very ominous cloud over his head. Hollywood's silence. In the close-knit world of Hollywood publicists and agents, word gets around quickly. Teyana's startling promise to reveal not only Aaron but also the bearding contracts and the organizations that support them gave the business a chill. According to reports, prominent talent agencies had a number of high-level meetings. They were concerned for their other clientele. In addition to Aaron, Teyana would be revealing a long-standing system if she went nuclear. Since Hollywood's heyday, a mechanism that protects male stars' box office value by using well-known women to confirm their heterosexuality. Because she was the only one with the courage to declare, "I'll burn it all down to protect my integrity." Teyana had become the most dangerous woman in town. Mysterious game of cat and mouse. Teyana didn't let Aaron relax. Even though she didn't publish the complete expo, she participated in what supporters referred to as a masterclass in shade for months. Every time Aaron Pierre released a press release, a magazine cover, a new teaser, or a significant news, Teyana would publish a mysterious message on her stories. She would sing songs about lying, deceit, or being set free by the truth. Quotes on discernment and seeing past the mask would be posted by her. Aaron and his legal team saw it as a warning shot, but to the uninformed viewer, it was just classic Teyana. It was her way of saying, "I'm still here, and I still have the files. Don't get too comfortable." Aaron's team was kept in a condition of constant damage control by this psychological warfare. His standalone brand was never able to take off, because they were constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. During his quiet period, Aaron Pierre, once the most talked about up-and-coming star, became the industry's most reserved actor. His interviews started to sound formal and businesslike. He ceased going to the A-list events where he might encounter Teyana or the group around her aunt. Anxiety seems to have taken the place of the charisma that made followers fall in love. It was a cage, yet the London secret remained. Going public with his partner would confirm Teyana was correct and that he had deceived her, so he was unable to do it. The beard accusations would come up again right away, so he couldn't date anyone else. As a direct result of attempting to play a lady who is more knowledgeable about the game than the players, he found himself in a PR limbo. The fallout: Teyana's confirmation. Teyana Taylor was doing well, but Aaron was having trouble getting his bearings. She demonstrated that you can win without outing someone. All you have to do is remain true to yourself. She took back her story as the strong woman who refuses to serve as a stepping stone. In the end, the revealed secret caused more than just a breakup. Black women in the field began discussing protective loyalty as a result. Teyana came to represent any women who have ever felt like their husbands or boyfriends were using them. Picture: she demonstrated that you have the right to show someone the door and the receipts if they violate your safe space by lying. The secret's ultimate condition. The video exposure is still in Teyana's archives as of right now. The threat is still her most potent weapon, even though she hasn't released it yet. It has compelled Aaron's camp to take responsibility to a degree that no public declaration could, as he advances in his career. Aaron Pierre is aware that his leading Teyana Taylor has placed him on a permanent probationary period. Teyana ultimately revealed more than simply a homosexual partnership. She revealed a deceitful method. She highlighted the public relations apparatuses that believe they can control actual people's lives for a film. Weekend of opening, most significantly, she made it clear that you can't play with a woman who has nothing to lose and everything to prove. In 2026, there was more to the apple pie than just a moniker. It served as a lesson. Additionally, the lesson is never because Teyana Taylor always has the receipts and is prepared to post. People often mistake her generosity for weakness, and that's the terrifying end to Teyana Taylor and Aaron Pierre's story, my friends. This was more than a breakup. It was an high-stakes power move that almost brought down a Hollywood machine. Teyana Taylor has definitively established herself as the queen of receipts, and her nuclear option threat continues to reverberate. Throughout the halls of all the city's major talent agencies, you now have the floor. Though, do you believe Teyana should simply release the video and expose the entire bearding system, or do you think she is holding on to it as a last warning? What about Aaron Pierre? With this shadow looming over him, will he ever be a true superstar? Or has, by just taking away her light, Teyana has already caused enough harm? Leave a comment below. I'd like to see the theories. Click the like button if you support Teyana and appreciate how she advocates for herself. Send this video to anyone who believes they can portray a girl from Harlem. Moreover, above all, hit the subscribe button, bell symbol. We're keeping an eye on this narrative as it progresses. Additionally, if Teyana, when you click upload on that expose, you'll first listen to it here.